Hello, Tiger Cat fans. It's Dave here to talk about goings on for the Tiger Cats. I was on vacation, so I just got back, and I haven't obviously been able to put together anything regarding the absolute catastrophe we're in right now in the Tiger Cat season. So, of course, when I was away, I did watch a little bit of the Tiger Cat Winnipeg game. Not much though, because I was in another time zone, so I was just a tiny little bit, and then I went to bed. I'd seen that Colares got knocked out, which kind of sucks because I like beating Winnipeg, but I like beating them when their starters are in. But whatever. Um, and then, of course, the absolute catastrophe of Levi Mitchell breaking his ankle, which we now know was an ankle break. And he's undergone surgery. That's what we know. I doubt very much we're going to see him back this season. I think he's done. I think he's done. I think this is career ending. I don't know whether he'll be back next year or not. I'm just speculating, though. I have nothing to back that up with. But I just want to talk a bit about the game coming up against Saskatchewan, and the broader season going forward now. Well, let's talk about the season first. So, as the title suggests, this season's. It's. What do you want to say? It's over. I think they may still make the playoffs. It's nice seeing the Argos suck as bad as they are, and Ottawa still getting acclimated with a new coach and new staff and all that, and they're struggling, but everyone will get better. Tiger Cats were on pace to win the East, in my opinion. Of course, I'm very biased. Montreal is pretty darn good, but I think the Tiger Cats would have outpaced them in the end. But now we're never going to know. Bo Levi Mitchell was set to break a ton of records, and he was already doing really well. But let's talk about some positives here. I'm positive they probably won't make the playoffs. Just kidding. The defense is keeping him in games. They no longer have an offense for a few reasons that I'll go into. Tiger Cats don't have an offense anymore. They have great players, but they don't have a quarterback. And if they're going to win games, it's going to be because of special teams and defense. I do have faith that the offense is going to get some stuff together and start to look okay. But right now they're starting over again. Okay, they're starting over at camp basically. It's going to be interesting to see what they're able to put together. So now, just for the game coming up against Saskatchewan, I was thinking to myself, the only way they're really going to have a chance is if that defense shows up and plays well against Trevor Harris and crew and their offense. Yeah, I'm not sure whether AJ Ouellette was still hurt when I left. He was injured. Didn't look like a serious injury, but I don't know. I guess I haven't been around for a while. But anyways, the only chance we have to win this game is the defense to shut down their offense. Hamilton's defense to shut down Saskatchewan's offense. And in my opinion, it's to get Trey Ford in there and have a dual threat on the ground because he can run. But to my shock, and then not really shock afterwards, Scott Milanovich is starting Domigala, which I think is the worst decision in the history of mankind. He's a big quarterback. He's tall. He's strong. He's your third down guy. He's the guy who plunges the ball into the end zone. He's all of those things. But he sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jake. Sorry to say it out loud. I watched him in camp. He looked terrible. In the preseason game that I was at, that I got to watch, he looked terrible. He threw a pick in the last game. He's not mobile whatsoever. He's a pocket passer with no ability whatsoever to make proper reads down the field. So I know I don't get it. And he doesn't have that escapability. A couple of the throws that Trey Ford. I know Trey Ford's not perfect, okay, but a couple of throws this kid made in in camp, and when he got to come in a couple of times under when Bo Levi Mitchell got hurt. I know he almost threw a pick too, but come on, man. He should be starting. Anyways, whatever. What do I know? I'm just an armchair quarterback. But then I looked into it a little bit more to see what would have influenced that decision. And I looked at the quarterbacks. Like Scott Milanovic has been called like the quarterback whisperer, right? So some of the quarterbacks in the CFL he's worked with, because he was in the NFL too, right? But CFL quarterbacks, he worked with Anthony Calvillo, Ricky Ray, Zach Collaros, Trevor Harris, Cody Fajardo, and now Don Migala, Trey Ford, and Bully Van Mitchell. Not a lot of mobile quarterbacks in there. He is designed as a coach to. He's pretty old school. He's a balanced offense. Uh, Pocket passer guy. Look at the guys he coached. Trey. He doesn't have a play package for Trey Ford. He has no idea what to do with Trey Ford, and that really bothers me. I mean, I'm just saying I'm just saying this stuff, okay? Um, it's my opinion only, but I have a feeling that he has no idea what to do with Trey Ford. He doesn't have packages for him. He doesn't have any plans for him whatsoever, which is ridiculous. I want him to make me eat my words. On my next episode, I want it to be he was right, and Don Migala came out and sucked, and then Trey Ford came in and saved the day. I want to be able to say that, okay? But I've been very, very critical at times of Scott Milanovic's coaching style. And I really don't. Jake's not the guy. Okay. I mean, Trey Ford isn't the guy, really. But I would rather, if we're going to go down in flames, I want it to be with a Canadian quarterback that is mobile and can actually influence and get some things done on offense. The only advantage is Jake Domigala knows the playbook a little bit more because he's been around for longer, but the guy's got no reps. He's, like at least Trey Ford played for an offense as a starter for a while, granted for Edmonton, but I don't know. I just got a really bad feeling about where this offense is going and the lack of production they're going to have and the amount of games they're going to lose because of this offense. I mean, the defense can't do everything, right? I mean, they're going to be tired, and they're facing a pretty lethal Saskatchewan offense. And, whatever, man. I mean, stranger things have happened in the CFL. And the other, of course, the other factor that just still pisses me off is the fact that the Tiger Cats couldn't negotiate their way around the roster rules to keep Taylor Powell there. This is a kid. He was the next guy. Okay, he was the next guy. He'd been mentored by Bully Van Mitchell. He'd been mentored by Scott Milanovic. He's a great quarterback, and because of the stupid CFL. Well, I shouldn't say stupid CFL, but CFL rules regarding Canadian players and all that. Someone had to go. And that's probably a huge deciding factor of why Trey Ford's there in the first place. He's Canadian, right? So I think to get some other players in, they had to compromise and get rid of him, Taylor Powell, and bring in Trey Ford to have another Canadian person on the roster. So in the game coming up, once again, with Saskatchewan, special teams and the defense are going to have to get some takeaways. They have to get some short fields. Trey Ford and Domigala, both of those guys are not long drive, starting at your 10-yard line, and yet, making 85 whatever yard drives. That's not, no. And the other part is with a new quarterback, you're going to see a lot of stupid penalties on offense. You're going to see procedure calls. You're going to see offsides. Everyone's going to be getting used to a new quarterback. My personal prediction is that Trey Ford will come into the game because Domigala is going to get smacked so hard that he's going to get injured too. And I know the Tiger Cats are trying to make some moves to bring a couple other quarterbacks in to have them on the roster. But I don't know. This is bad. It's bad day in Tiger Town. So anyways, on that positive note, I'm going to leave it there. And let's see what happens I guess they play on Sunday, right? So let's see what happens in Regina on Sunday. See if the Tiger Cats can pull off a magic trick. All right, watch the games, and we'll see where we go from here. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot to mention one thing. As much as doom and gloom as I'm talking about, I am still a next man up and get behind them kind of person. As much as I've said some bad stuff about these quarterbacks, I'm still behind them. Okay, I'm still going to be cheering and yelling and screaming, as all you guys should be too. And don't forget, remember when Zach Collaros played for Hamilton and he got injured, and Jeremiah Mazzoli that nobody had heard of stepped into the game, and we had some pretty good years with him too, right? So maybe this is a positive turning point, and maybe it's not all doom and gloom. I know Hamilton fans, I'm one of them, and I know what everybody's thinking right now. But my last piece is get behind whoever's starting. Get behind them. Don't get on them. All right, watch the game. We'll talk later.